Here's the good news. The good news is that a well-trained sales team will set you apart from the majority of your competitors. Why? Simply because most sales organizations today, truthfully, don't really invest the time, the effort, and the resources that's really required to effectively train their sales teams properly. I mean, most companies will invest some time and resources to upgrade their salespeople's skills in the technical aspects of the particular products and services they offer. However, research bears out the fact that salespeople who depend solely on the capabilities of the product or service to win business will more often than not leave sales opportunities lying on the table. We see the impact of skill building and capability building in the sports arena, yet we don't apply it to business. There is no substitute for a well-trained and highly motivated team of salespeople. Salespeople who lack confidence in their own abilities to sell and promote your company's products and services will experience frustration and low morale, and obviously that results in unmet quotas and revenue goals. The sad thing is that many potentially great salespeople will leave your company and sometimes the industry as a whole because of their dissatisfaction with the lack of concrete training. Investing in an effective sales performance skill improvement program will enable your salespeople to better understand their customers' underlying buying motives. And I mean, imagine how great it would be if your salespeople were able to maximize their effectiveness with every customer encounter. What would the impact be on your current results if your sales team had the ability to ask far more powerful questions that really had an impact on the buyer's decision-making criteria? Increased sales capability will mean that your sales team will be able to qualify and prioritize genuine selling opportunities more effectively. An effective capability improvement program will help your salespeople to deal more effectively with customer concerns and objections. They'll be able to plan and utilize and manage their time more effectively. They'll have the skills to engage all the people involved in purchase decisions and so much more. I also get that over the years, many of us as sales managers have become somewhat jaded and just enchanted by the lack of results that the majority of sales training programs have maybe delivered over the years. And it's unfortunate. And in fact, senior management today is often loath to devote the resources that it takes to effectively train their salespeople because their past experience has shown that most sales training just doesn't generate the results that are promised. No matter what the reason, when you stop investing in the capabilities of your sales team over time, they will become less and less productive. When you follow up sales training or any type of training with sales performance coaching, you will significantly maximize the return of your training investment. It is really a sad indictment on current management practice that training is simply a tick-a-box affair. We run the event, tick the box, yes, they've been there, they've done it, and now they're trained. And that's not the case. In that best-selling and famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey, he makes a strong case for the fundamental importance of ongoing training, or as he calls it, sharpening the saw. So whilst there's no dispute that ongoing training and continually building the capability of your sales team is important, as the sales leader, it's your responsibility to ensure that when you train and invest in training your people, that you ensure that your company receives the maximum bang for its buck in terms of training. And so when you train your sales team regularly and consistently with a focus both on what happens before the training as well as what happens after the training event, those results will show up very clearly in your top line. So finally, let's take a look at the last key bulletproof your sales team strategy, which is called individual sales performance. Let's talk about sales motivation for a moment. There's an enormous body of research out there which clearly points to the fact that every one of us is motivated by different needs and wants. And so what this tells us is that the most effective methodology for motivating your salespeople lies in focusing in on the individual. You see, most sales incentives and motivational drivers are generally directed at the sales team as a whole, whereas an individually based performance motivation strategy will have a much greater impact. How does your sales incentive or motivational strategy stack up in that way? Is it tailored to suit each individual member? The fact is, if you really want to get maximum juice from your motivational strategy, then it actually needs to be specifically tailored to suit each individual member of your sales team. And it needs to be created with a view to driving that individual's own development and their growth, as well as obviously achieving their sales goals and their sales objectives. What's exciting is that the additional benefit that you get from implementing an individual motivation strategy also enhances the retention of your top performers. See, really, motivation is a lot more than just incentives. Let's face it, as a sales leader, your career and income potential is inescapably intertwined with your ability to recruit, develop, and retain a top producing sales team. And obviously, excessive employee turnover is not just only unhealthy for the morale of your team in general, but it can also prove very costly to you in terms of the time and the resources and the erosion of customer confidence and loyalty. So it's for these very reasons that sales leaders today place an ever-growing premium on their effort both to hire and get the right people on the bus, as well as, more importantly, once you've got them, to hold on to them and to keep them highly motivated and engaged as a highly effective, highly productive sales team. So over the years, there have been numerous employee satisfaction surveys done, and they all tend to conclude that while financial incentives and rewards are important, there are only just one piece of the career satisfaction puzzle. So what that means is recognizing and rewarding and incentivizing our people financially has its limitations. So now, if we recognize the fact that financial rewards and incentives are limiting, then what other resources and tools do we have as sales leaders in our arsenal that will help us drive performance and motivation?